What's good, YouTube? No one hero, Black Deku. And about 2 or 3 days ago, depending on when this video drops, I sat down with my dad and I watched the new Wonder Woman movie. And at first I didn't think much of it, but after a couple of hours of thinking and people pointing things out that didn't make any sense, it hit me that holy shit, this movie is so fucking horrible. Now before I pop off, I just want to go over a couple things that I actually liked about the movie. Gal Gadot, I like her as Wonder Woman. She fits the role, she plays it pretty well. Her chemistry with Steve Trevor is good, albeit really kind of creepy, but I'll get to that part later. But the best part of the movie is easily Pedro Pascal as Max Lord. He legit carries the film on his back. There are plenty of scenes where he's just acting batshit crazy, and you can tell that Pedro is giving it his all. And even though his plan is downright insane and kind of sort of doesn't make any sense either, I still found his motives to be pretty interesting. And that's where my positives end. Everything else about this movie is so the CGI isn't that good, the action sequences aren't that good, and the plot, I feel like the only way for me to fully explain my gripes with this movie is just to recap the entire thing, because oh my god, is it a mess. Why is this movie damn near the same length as Infinity War? This movie spends so much time doing absolutely nothing. The first 10 minutes are spent on some kind of Olympic game to present us with the movie's message about the truth and to set up this super golden armor, which is super pointless, but I'll get to that part later. Fast forward to present day 1984 and Wonder Woman's a secret crime fighter. She fights these thugs in a mall who are trying to steal some shit, and it is so corny and so unnecessary. It's just literally just 4 dipshits with baby pistols. Just bonk them on the head and keep it moving. Why are you being so extravagant about this? And then we meet Barbara Minerva, and she's a nerd. You can tell because she wears big glasses and her hair is messy and she drops her papers on the floor and the boys don't want to help her pick up her papers. I swear to god, I've seen this exact scene like 500 times elsewhere. And then we meet Max Lord, who runs a failing oil business, so he wants to get his hands on this wish stone thingy. How does he know about the wish stone? How does he know that it actually works? I don't fucking know. The movie just breezes over that part. And then finally 45 minutes into the movie, after a whole bunch of nothing at this party, he finally gets his hands on the wish stone. And then Diana meets Steve Trevor again because she accidentally wishes him back into existence with the wish stone, and he's inhabiting some random dude's body, which makes no sense because later in the film nuclear missiles can appear out of thin air, but Steve has to possess someone else's body. Oh, and then she sleeps with him, so she's fucking Steve Trevor in someone else's body while his consciousness is who knows where, which means she kind of sort of definitely date raped him. I think. I don't want to talk about this anymore. So I forgot to add this part into my notes. Max Lord wishes for himself to become the wish stone. That way he can grant other people's wishes, so that way he can get power from them. After finding out that Barbara let Max Lord take the stone, Diana and Steve break into his office to discover that he's been researching the stone. Once again, have no idea how he knows anything about it. So they decide to follow him to Egypt. So they go to the Smithsonian Museum to commandeer a jet fighter, because I'm sure the Smithsonian keeps their aircrafts fueled up and ready to go for absolutely no reason. Diana makes the jet disappear to take it off radar so the movie can make this invisible jet reference, and it would have been really cool if it actually made sense, because according to my limited 2-minute research on Google, that's not how radar works. You can't just make something invisible and suddenly it doesn't appear on radar anymore. So then Max Lord goes to Egypt to meet up with this crude oil guy that he's been jealous of to grant him a wish, and Max Lord accomplishes something Trump was never capable of doing and builds a massive wall to keep out all the dirty nope, wait a minute, that isn't it. I actually forgot who these people are, but they're poor and they're foreign, so that makes them bad. And in return for building this dude's wall, Max Lord takes all of his soldiers and fucks off. Diana and Trevor eventually catch up to him, and oh my god, the following chase sequence is so bleh. Like, I know I've already said it, but the action really is not good at all. But oh no, Wonder Woman was injured by a bullet. Her powers must be weakening. Later on, Diana hits up Barbara, who tells her the stone pops up in a bunch of different civilizations during the times of old with the Mayans and the Roman Empire. And Diana puts together that the stone appears in places where civilizations collapse, and I quote, without a trace as to why. And I can tell you without even Googling anything that is an absolute crock of shit. Back in the US, Max Lord's granting everyone's wishes and chaos ensues. He goes to the president to grant his wish for more nuclear weapons and just so happens to stumble across a super secret military project. These satellites that the government can use to override any tech and broadcast themselves anywhere in the world using particle beam technology, which, get this, somehow gives them the capability of touching everyone. So Max Lord comes up with a genius idea that he can use these particles to touch everyone, to grant their wishes simultaneously to gain ultimate power. Now, I'm not much of a science guy. I've been a consistent C student in most of my science classes since high school, but I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that doesn't make any goddamn sense. Then Diana and Trevor make their way into the White House and they have to fight these Secret Service agents. On one side you have regular dudes with pistols, and on the other side you have a superpowered Amazonian warrior, but the stakes are raised because her powers are weakening. And just before they can capture Max Lord, Barbara gets in the way because the Wishstone made me hot and popular and you won't get in my way, Diana. Bitch, are you fucking insane? Have you even bothered to look outside? This isn't high school. Is being hot and popular that big of a deal to you? So Barbara and Max Lord get away. So outside, it's mass chaos. The United States and USSR are ready to fire nukes at each other. Everyone's losing their goddamn minds. And Steve Trevor's like, you have to let go, Diana, so you can get your powers back. And after a little bit of crying, sobbing, and a few tears, she's on her way. And hold on a minute, you can fly? So I guess she just forgot how to fly in Batman vs Superman and Justice League. Almost how like Daenerys forgot about the Iron Fleet. No, that was 2 years ago. I'm not doing it again. I'm not. Also, Diana can ride lightning bolts. Doesn't really add anything to the story, but yeah, she can do it. And on the private jet to the satellite control, Barbara wishes to become an apex predator, which is so vague because you could have easily had been transformed into any apex predator, a killer whale, a bird, but she looks out on a cheetah because that's what this movie has been vaguely building towards this entire time. And Max Lord finally broadcasts himself across the globe telling everyone to wish for something, which is also kind of fucking stupid given the fact that only around 20% of the human population actually speaks English. Eventually Diana makes it to the satellite control and faces off against Barbara in this golden Amazonian armor that was hyped up as the armor strong enough to take on the whole world, all for it to get partially ripped to shreds by some bitch who wished herself into a literal cheetah girl. They fight, it's boring, it's dark, it's a bunch of bullshit. Is this Cirque du Soleil? What the fuck is this shit? And she electrocutes Barbara in the water somehow without also electrocuting herself, but I don't care anymore, so I'm moving on. So Diana finally reaches Max Lord, but oh no, he's growing too powerful, and I still don't know what power he's attaining exactly other than the wind around him getting stronger. But Diana Uzumaki uses the power of Talk no Jutsu and her magic whip to get him to see the truth, or some bullshit I forgot, and somehow gets Max Lord and the entire human population to renounce their wishes. So Max Lord returns to his son and seemingly doesn't face any consequences for nearly destroying all of humanity, and I guess the United States and Soviet Union are just going to forget they were seconds away from annihilating each other, but none of that shit matters, bitch, because it's Christmas time. And Diana runs into the guy whose unconscious corpse she had sex with in the movie ends. Thank God!
The mission. The nightmares. Finally over.
And that's it. I really wanted to like this movie because I really enjoyed the first one, at least up to the third act, but overall that movie was solid. But if you haven't seen this movie yet, you don't need to watch it. Skip it unless you are looking to watch a literal dumpster fire. I don't know what the hell DC is doing over there. Their movie universe is out of whack. They gotta fix some shit. They gotta do something. I have nothing else to say about this movie. I am exhausted. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure to follow me on my Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. All of that in the description box below. This has been your #1 hero, and I'm out. Peace.